What's going on, everybody? This is Gerard, aka Jahranimo here, and for those that know me and saw my tweets last night about the whole Nintendo fiscal year earnings and press release, I had a lot of thoughts about what they actually went over. So here I am, out of the blue, on a Wednesday, making a video that I've never really done before as a nobody on YouTube. But I digress. For the people that listen, I hope you like what I have to say and what my thoughts on the whole thing is. Alright, so pretty much what they confirmed out the gate, the next next Nintendo hardware, the NX, is coming March 2017. March 2017, worldwide. So the thing with this is, like, all these rumors that came out in the past several months have been pointing to like holiday 2016, like other normal console or handheld releases, and this is kind of unprecedented. Well, it's not like really crazy. It's only like 4 months later. I mean, most people are like, oh my god, holiday release, that's like the only time to make money, and I'm like, not really. They're probably just spacing it out to get their launch ready. Now, the biggest news, I think, the biggest news and probably the biggest shocker for most, and honestly, it is a bit disappointing for me too, is that for E3, they will not have NX in any playable form at E3. Now, I'm still kind of processing this whole thing with the E3 type thing. Like, yeah, I think it's a huge gamble what they're doing. Like, E3, I mean, the past few years, they've had their own format, which is, had varying success. The 2014 one was fantastic. 2015 one, well, not so fantastic, but, they probably think now, especially with the direction they're trying to go with this next generation of hardware and their platform, that they feel E3 is not really relevant to how they want to reach consumers, which can be true and false, and in my opinion, like, I can see being true because E3 has been kind of waning as far as series coverage over time. Like for this E3, we got Activision has got their own thing, EA's got their own thing. I think the Disney studios, the gaming studios, they're not there. And, Sony has events throughout the year as well. They don't just rely on E3 as the main outlet for this type of news. So that's really interesting. Like, that's kind of crazy. For all the people that's going there, that's super hyped for E3, just people like me who just sit at home and look at the coverage, that's like, wow, Nintendo, nothing? That's kind of crazy. We'll really see how that folds out. The other thing is, they explicitly said that the next Zelda will be simultaneously releasing for the NX and Wii U March 2017. So it's likely it's going to coincide with the NX launch. And Zelda Wii U is going to be the only game playable at E3. So have you heard of anybody just coming through in just one game and that's it? It's pretty off the rails, but we know Nintendo does things much different from everybody else. My feeling of that, I mean, I'm not going to the event, so this doesn't really affect me much at all. But as for people that are going, yeah, I'd be kind of disappointed because, I mean, there's not much to cover. It's just one game, and this pretty much tells me that pretty much Nintendo is just letting the Wii U die for the rest of the year. That's what they're doing. They're letting the Wii U die. Only things we know that's coming, that we know it's already been announced. The localization for Shin Megami Tensei Sharp FE, which is Tokyo Mirage Session Sharp FE, that's coming in June. It's coming later in June. Mario and Sonic at the Rio Olympic Games later in June, and Paper Mario, which has had mixed reception already on its first revealing in the last Direct because it looks so similar to Sticker Star, which many aren't too fond of its direction and whatnot. But yeah, so, and then that's just Labor 2016, so that could just be the holiday game. They're gonna let this just be there. 3DS doesn't look as bad. I'd say 3DS is looking okay. I mean, the main strength going into the holiday, of course, Pokemon Sun and Moon, a new generation is coming out. That's going to be pretty big, even though it's going to be tied to 3DS. And then Federation Force, which, again, not many are really truly excited or really looking for that game in August. So, yeah, that's the main points. So yeah, Nintendo avoiding E3, that's pretty big. Like, I think it's a really risky move they're doing. Like, it's not so much of the delaying the launch for their new hardware for 3-4 months. That's not as crazy. Like, it's just like whatever. People can save money. People can, divert their attention to Sony or Microsoft or PC. I mean, hey, that's just, I think Nintendo is holding that L, you know what I'm saying? Like, they understand that they don't really have the position to just launch in fall and have, probably more than likely my vibe I'm getting is like a like not really a good enough launch. That's what I'm getting. Like, they probably want to make sure everything is right, everything's coming correct when they release that NX. That's probably what they want right now. Although Nikki, which is publication mainly for Japan stuff, and has put out some information on Nintendo, it's fairly reasonable over time. They do say that they will have more details to share about the features, price, and software at launch for the NX by the end of the year. So, I mean, this could be, a direct. This could be, a return to Space World, like something like that. So that's good to hear. It's not something that most fans want to hear, but hey, that's how it pretty much goes. So I want to focus more on E3. So yeah, again, they're only going to have the next Zelda there. The reasoning they're going about this is that, as for PR, they said the Wii U version of the game will be playable for the first time on the E3 show floor, and it will be the only playable game in order to provide attendees a complete immersion. Like, it's really interesting. I mean, one game. Yeah, that's pretty big. In kind of a negative type of tone. But to me, it really sounds like that this is like the most ambitious Zelda to date. If they're just gonna focus on this one game, especially if it's not even coming out by that point for almost another year. Like, that's crazy. Like, such a small amount of people are gonna be able to play this game on hardware that's probably not even gonna be desirable for it at the time of release, because it's coming on the next, which I'm sure is Nintendo's end game for this type of deal. So, wow, that's pretty much something right there. Like, it is a bit disappointing. Like, not really looking into E3 now, knowing NX won't be there, and I mean, Zelda's gonna be great. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure even with the 5,000 pushbacks, next Zelda should be solid. Like, it should be pretty good. And just hopefully with all these delays and whatever their concept has been for the game, that I do hope that when it does drop next year for Wii U and NX, it is really good and worth the wait, and it has really good ideas that has been present in previous entries. The only other thing that really came out of that Nintendo press release information from early this morning, they announced 2 mobile games. They announced 2 will be coming by fall this year. A Fire Emblem entry into mobile and a Animal Crossing, which honestly, like, those 2 like make the perfect sense. Like, that's brilliant. Like, that's a smart move for a mobile platform, because Animal Crossing is pretty big now. It appeals to casual players. It's slow. It's just a simulator. It works well on mobile. And then Fire Emblem, which has been coming up in the past few years thanks to the resurgence in the IP of Fire Emblem Awakening. Like, yeah, like, this is good. This is fine. Like, I'm not too big into mobile myself personally, but I see the benefits of that. Like, that's good. I believe they also said they're gonna announce more amiibo, which, I mean, that's cool and all, but like, we want games. I don't know how many people will be truly excited about that as concerned. So my thoughts on the whole deal, with the whole NX information that came out. Again, I think it's a big gamble. Like, even with this, this blowout of information they plan to do in the fall, going away from the holiday launch, not showing anything at this current E3, I think it's not so much of a make or break, but it's so pivotal in their future that it can either be a fantastic launch, totally win back many people, including some of their older fans, or it could just be the same type of games, the same type of mistakes, still a lacking online infrastructure, which I mean personally I doubt that with the recent My Nintendo account, which looks pretty forward thinking. That has potential. So yeah, like me personally, I'm not too pissed off or bummed. I mean, I'm a little disappointed about the E3 thing as usual. Like that's probably the biggest thing that's kind of crazy, but overall I'm not too mad or anything. I'm just okay, it gives me time to finish playing out my PC build this year and play other games and work on my backlog and this, that, and the other. So it's fine for me. It's gonna be crazy though. This upcoming year is gonna be crazy. The drought's gonna be real. Nintendo's got to do a lot of goodwill towards the end. I really hope they knock it out of the park, but in this case, not really sure, because not many can instill confidence in them at this moment, and they're taking this massive L for the year. So I can just really hope that they get everything right for the launch, and that this new strategy is worth it in the end. So that's pretty much all for me. It's Jahranimo. Peace out.